you should do when you come into class is actually take some time to look over the last part of your lab. We didn't get a chance to go over the lab today. We didn't have, oh, here it is. So what you want to do is take a minute and go over the lab question number 9 from the other day from the transformation lab, and take actually a little time to ask each other questions and see if you needed any help on that portion. This is the portion that I sent you a little link to the data, and if you still need the data, it is still on the wiki site. So make sure you do go over that for a second. The other thing is, I do want to start talking about our AP Biology essays that I mentioned on Friday. And for this, you'll actually have an essay each week all the way up until spring break. Now, the main reason, or a couple of reasons why you're doing this, is A, to prepare yourselves for the essay portion of our exam, and B, to help you review your previous units as well. So on each of these, you'll actually see them as each Monday up until spring break. This is when your essays will be due. You're getting your first essay today, and then on next Monday, February the 10th, that's when it will be due. So for your essays, things to keep in mind is that there will be no late work accepted, and so you need to make sure that you turn it in time and that you're working on it throughout the week so that you don't get behind. On Wednesday of every week, you'll have to handwrite an outline for your essay. And please make sure that you'll write only your ID number on the page. Sorry. So for your outlines, what you'll have to actually include is your learning objective, your enduring understanding, and your essential knowledge for the unit. I want you to go ahead and make sure you have all 3 sheets that you need. The first says, exactly like on the board, AP Bio Essay of the Week. The second is your rubric, and you'll get one for each week. And the third sheet that you'll get is actually a sheet for you to keep track of which units you're covering, what topics you're covering for all of these essays. Later on, I will ask that you guys get a folder, a little 3-prong folder to keep all of this in, to keep it organized, but we'll worry about that a little later. But if you can get one before I get back, that'd be great. Looking at your rubric, if you look at how it says to demonstrate ability to address your learning objective, your enduring understanding, and your essential knowledge, you'll want to make sure that you are actually choosing those objectives that match with one of our units, and that you'll be able to address those objectives within your paper. If you're looking at your rubric, the first thing you have to do is demonstrate the ability to address those 3 things. So you want to choose one. For example, a lot of you might choose to go over Unit 1 first, or maybe Unit 6 first, because that was the one that we most recently covered. After you choose your objectives, you're going to need to demonstrate the ability to use content vocabulary in the correct context at least 8 times. Meaning there should be 8 very clear points, 8 very clear vocabulary terms that you're using to demonstrate your knowledge of this unit, of those objectives. Then making cross-content connections. You need to demonstrate the ability to make at least 2 logical cross-content connections. So between different units of our different units that we've already covered. And the last thing is refer to 2 or more specific high-level sources and cite it correctly. So these sources, these references that you'll be using throughout your paper, they should be from abstracts that we've already used, abstracts within your analysis worksheets, through the essays that we've read, through the discussions we've had. Those are things that you'll and what to refer to. So looking back through your old packets is where you should get that information from. And that should be really easy to do because you should have a packet per each unit, and you should be able to refer directly back to that. So some other things to go over really quickly about your paper. So these are the 4 points that you definitely want to make sure you hit. So as you're writing your paper and as you're checking over your own work, make sure you look back at your rubric. But your essay should be no more than 1 page front and back if it's handwritten, or double-spaced typed. I'm actually going to ask that for this first paper that everyone go ahead and type your paper for me. And make sure that you double space it, and it should be no more than 2 pages at that point, or about 1.5 pages typed and printed. Make sure that you use your own words and that you're not copying and pasting any information. If you are referring to something, make sure that you reference it and cite it. Each of these assignments, each of these essays are going to be worth 20 points. And so you're going to earn points based on the relevant facts that you're including. And you'll receive 10 points for completing your outline, and then the other 10 points for your actual paper. So on Wednesday, when you're bringing in your outline, that's going to be 10 points right there of your paper to have it ready on that day and to have it set up in a way that I know you've clearly thought out your points, that you've already thought of what was your intro, what are your main topics that you're going to hit, what unit you're addressing, how are you addressing those learning objectives. And then your final paper, which will be due on Monday the 10th, will have your other 10 points. After your essay is graded, you will complete a reflection based on the feedback that you're given. And at the end of spring break, you will turn in your essay folder with a cumulative reflection, and that'll be worth 50 points total. And that'll be due April 22nd. And so that's the folder that I'm going to ask that you keep each of these in. When you turn in your assignments, and you turn it in next Monday, I want to see your outline on there, because in class we'll be helping each other and making some notes on those outlines, and your final paper as well as these 3 forms that you should be putting in your folder. So after this video, make sure you take some time to kind of organize this and put this in a place that you won't lose. And if you need a whole bunch of things, make sure you do that. Other than that, today you should be spending your time working on your Clover case study, and then also working on this biology essay, getting started and looking back at our objective sheets and choosing a unit that you want to address first, what topic you want to address first in your essay. If there's any questions, please email me, and I'll be checking on you guys, hopefully if I have time during the day as well, and if I'm not on a plane at that point. But that's going to be all for our essay. Make sure you start working on that today and not wasting your time. And I will see you guys on Tuesday.